Hey y'all, Shelly here with another tip for hospice nurses. So do you ever have a patient, like say a CHF patient or a COPD patient, and they come on hospice, and when they come on service, they're just a mess. Their symptoms are out of control. They've been in and out of the hospital, multiple emergency room visits, and just they're really not doing well at all. Then you bring them on service. We do what we do best, which is manage symptoms. And within 3 weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, their symptoms are well managed and they're doing pretty good. And then we struggle with what to document. Like, what do we say? So we document these normal, stable findings. And before you know it, they no longer meet criteria. They go off hospice. Within about a month, they're usually back on hospice because we're not there to manage their symptoms. So one simple thing that we can document, one simple change to our documentation that we can do that can help to stop this or reverse this or prevent them from being discharged is, I talk a lot about not documenting stable findings. But when it's difficult to not do that, here's something that I do instead. I will use well managed. I use that phrase a lot. So I will start, let's say I'm doing a COPD patient. I will start with what the problem is, because the problem is still there. It's just there, but we're well managing it. So we want to make that clear. So start with the problem. So on COPD, I would say disabling dyspnea at rest, well managed with interventions provided by hospice. Now, sometimes I put a period on that sentence. Sometimes I will say, list what the interventions are. Other times I will just talk about patient remains dependent on supplemental oxygen, patient is requiring 4 to 6 respiratory treatments a day, or whatever that looks like that I would normally do in my respiratory note. But that's how I start my respiratory note. Instead of saying anything about respirations being even and unlabored or anything like that, you don't need to restate that. Remember, we always talk about you don't have to restate anything, any normal findings. That's in your flow assessment. Don't highlight that in your nurse's note. So that's just pretty simple. Use whatever the problem was. You could also use, if they have crippling edema, if they have 4++ edema, well managed by interventions provided by hospice. And you can talk about the interventions again. Or whatever the problem is, just state the problem first, well managed by the interventions provided by hospice. And then that way you are continuously highlighting why they're on hospice, and that helps to keep them on hospice. So I hope this tip was helpful. If you have tips that would be helpful for hospice nurses, please let me know. I'd love to share them here. And remember, together we can change our world.